Hey everyone, hope you had a great 4th of July weekend. We're just kind of wrapping it up here, and I'm on my way back from enjoying some time in the great outdoors. I was listening to a couple of trainings over the weekend on some nutrition stuff, and one of the things that the guy running the training said I thought was actually a really good thing I thought we should do a video about is making sure that you have realistic expectations. Now, this was not the entire content of the training, but what it was something that he mentioned, because it was a nutrition product training, and he had talked about, he said, look, here's the thing, most people don't need supplements to get fat loss. There's a couple small things they can do, but the biggest thing that they can do before we worry about the 40-inch waistline is worrying about the 6 inches between your ears, and that's your mindset. Most people have a super unrealistic expectation of what fat loss should look like because we see it all over the media, and we think it's going to happen in 12 weeks or 6 weeks or 10 days because of this new juice cleanse, or restricting your calorie intake to 500 per day with an injection of beef plasma once a week, or something like that. I don't know. The problem with these type of mindsets is that they don't set the right expectation for what fat loss is. So I'm going to tell you right off the bat, sustainable fat loss is literally 1 to 2 pounds a week. When I say sustainable, what I mean is this: you lose the weight and it stays off. You keep going with the habits that you're working on, and that's it. Keep this in mind. 1 pound of fat does not look like a lot on the scale. It doesn't look like a lot on a picture. Unless you're already someone that's super lean, you are not going to notice 1 pound, especially in a week or 2 weeks, because it happens slowly. Think about how long it took for you to put that fat on. If it took you 10 years to put all that body fat on, how long do you think that you're going to need to take it all off? A week? 2 weeks? You're probably not going to lose 10 years worth of poor eating choices in a very short amount of time. And I'm not trying to be mean about it, because I've been there too. I've had, bad eating habits. I still eat stuff that I know is not the best for me, but hey, I understand how that attains to my goals, or pertains to my goals, and that's and how long it's taken me to attain them and accomplish them. So what I want you to think about is what a pound of fat actually looks like, to help set the expectation and get the mindset right. 1 pound of fat is about the size of a softball. Think about that volume-wise. If you take the softball and you spread it out, you lose a little bit on your arms, a little bit on your legs, a little bit around your waist. How is it going to look? You're probably not going to notice it. Now, if you keep going with that, 5 pounds of fat winds up being about the size of a basketball. That's a little bit more volume, but in the course of, let's say, a month, if you lose 1 pound per week in a month, you might not notice that, okay? You're probably going to wind up seeing, some changes. Your clothes might fit a little different, things like that, but you might not see a whole lot on the scale. You're only 5 pounds or 4 pounds. It's only been a month. Because of where you've lost the weight, you can't target it. There's no such thing as targeted fat loss. What I want you to think about is a better way of tracking your fat loss progress. First thing and foremost, get a journal, a food journal. If you don't have one, or you're not willing to keep one, turn the video off right now. Don't waste any more of your time, because everything else is going to be just a waste. You have to track the stuff, you have to record it. That being said, you can go crazy with recording your progress. Food should be recorded daily. The rest of the measurements for fat loss don't have to be. First thing you're going to do is scale weight. You need to have it. From there, it's kind of subjective and depends on what you have access to. If you don't have access to any type of body composition test, whether you have like one of the little Omron body fat testers, or you want to go with something more high-tech, DEXA or a bod pod or water submersion test. We work really closely with TNT Biometrics, and they have a bod pod, which works really well. There's also some other methods of testing that are consistent but not accurate, and we want to just go with consistency at this point. And you also get one of those little tape measures. Okay. Week 1, weigh yourself on the scale. Week 2, basically want to make sure that you're you can choose which one you want to do, what order you want to do it in. You can do the body fat test the next week, or you can do the tape measure. I would probably do the tape measure the second week personally, because you're going to see the most progress with that, and it's going to make you feel the best to know that you've lost inches off your waist. After that, body fat test or tape measure, whichever one you haven't done yet. Once you pick the order you're going to do them in, do that for 3 weeks. Take week 4 off. Just take it off. Don't measure anything. Week 5, hop back on the scale, see how you did. Don't get in the habit of weighing yourself every day, every other day, once a week, nothing like that. Wait. You need to have some patience with this. What you're going to see, and the scale is not going to be the best indicator of this, but what you're going to see with the rest of the measurements is a trend. Basically, you want to be trending in the direction of losing body fat. If you see your measurements going down, if you see your body fat percentage going down, and the scale weight hasn't moved, guess what? You're doing okay. Here's why. A pound of muscle takes up less space than a pound of fat. We want muscle for body fat or for body fat loss, for body composition purposes, because it's active tissue. Okay, if you add a pound of muscle to your body, you are burning an extra 50 calories a day just sitting there taking up space, literally without exercising, which is why we recommend strength training so highly. If, on the other hand, you do see the scale weight going down, don't freak out. It's not a big deal. There's a chance after 3 weeks that you've probably gained some muscle, you probably lost some inches, and you probably lost some body fat out of those inches, and it most likely hasn't been muscle. You should be consistently doing this over time to give yourself a good idea of where you're at, and where you're, like, what direction you want to head in, and to make sure you're doing the right thing. If basically you don't see any progress in any of the areas, you got to go back to the drawing board and see what's happening, right? Because you should see some progress in one of those 3 areas. If you see progress in one, you're going somewhere. If it's only the scale, you might be losing some muscle. If you're not seeing some inches off of there. If you see it in 2 areas, you're definitely doing it right. If you see it in all 3, you're doing phenomenal. There's a lot of fine details we're not going to have time to cover, but basically the biggest thing is you can do those for measurements. And going back to the 2 things the guy had mentioned in the training that I said at the beginning of the video, the 2 best things that you can do for your fat loss goals and for your health, overall health, the 2 best things you can do. Forget about the food, forget about the nutrition supplements, magic pills, all that crap like that. Get 8 hours of sleep per day. You can take naps, they're fine. And drink plenty of water, like half body weight in ounces every day at least. If you started doing some fitness or athletic training, you're going to need to do more. If you're not hitting that, you're not going to hit your goals. It's just not going to happen. So, with that being said, I'm going to sign off. If you have any questions about anything we talked about today, feel free to drop a comment below or shoot us an email, info@tntwb.com, or you can, just stop in the gym if you're in the area, and we can chat some more and we do a free nutrition consult for all of our new members. Or if you wanted to do just nutrition strictly, we can do that as well. And then don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. If you do that, you're going to be updated on these things on a regular basis. And we can make sure that we know what kind of content we're bringing. If we get videos with more likes, we're going to bring you guys more of that stuff. That really helps us out to make sure that we're giving you the best bang for your buck. On this free YouTube channel, right? But your time is valuable, right? It's time you could be spent in this last 10 minutes here prepping meals or spending time with your family. you want to make sure that you're spending your time wisely to make sure you have a nice balanced out life. That being said, feel free to drop a comment below with anything you'd like to see in future videos. We're going to be bringing some more technique tips to you pretty soon. We had an issue with the last couple of videos uploading. Hopefully we got a remedy for that now. I'm doing this when I'm recording it on the YouTube app as I'm driving back down 41 here. So, hopefully this works out a lot better and we can keep this going this way. But we're going to keep these coming at you every week, and hopefully, we're heading in the right direction for the content everyone wants, and we'll make sure we bring you some stuff that can really help you smash your fitness goals. I'm going to sign off. Justin with TNT Fitness Results. Enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend.